I think it doesn't feel right going big. I think actually it's about, there's more power in me going.
I usually cast the leads. I've always doing something as I'm preparing it with something. I've already got somebody in mind because I'm just watching things and go, him. I usually have a physical type in my head, and when you're drawing, you're already starting to see people in the role. And so my drawing is more than my sketchbook, it's my plan.
We bring them this way. I go swing in the brothers in bed sheets and things coming from that way. So you come together in this room, you arrive together. And Denzel, I've got sitting as the master of this organization of what's happening, is sitting there. So when you walk in, Denzel may be right this time, acknowledge you, and you then come to do the scene.
Credit to Ridley. He really put a wonderful cast together. He painted the canvas. There's all types of people and talents. And you know, it helps so much, with especially this, well, the clothes help too, but the environment, where we are, and everywhere you look, it feels like history. It all just helped. I couldn't imagine just doing this on sets, you know. There's a size and a scope that the landscape itself brings.
As with the first movie, where it was a minor miracle that Russell Crowe existed at the time, we needed a character like that to play Maximus. Paul Mescal may be as equally lucky a piece of casting.
I was flicking around and I found a show that I've never normally watched called Normal People. It's very well done. And Paul reminded me of Richard Harris as a crossover with a very young Albert Finney. So there's a very good DNA then right there, plus the nose, right? And he was a very sound and solid and sympathetic actor. And I got binge watching on this, and from that, as this story and this script started to evolve, I started to think about him. That's how I tend to cast.
So yeah, the first Gladiator obviously holds a huge amount of weight for not just myself, but like a huge amount of people across the world. So it's not lost on me what we as a cast of actors and Ridley are stepping into.
You fought well today, but you were lucky. First of all, he's a wonderful young man. And one of the things he brings is that he's a consummate professional. He's obviously very talented, very humble. It's almost a bit of a proud father kind of thing for me, you know, just watching him do his thing. And he was saying to me today how he had to keep a straight face and, you know, and all of that. And he's just a wonderful actor, a wonderful human being, and quite talented. And like I said, the sky's the limit for him.
There was a moment stepping out in kind of gladiator armor where I was like, okay, whoa, this looks like it's going to happen. But I think as an actor, you've got to be very quick to kind of dispel any notions of not necessarily ego, but playing into the idea that something is iconic before you've made it. You've got to earn that. And I was keen to kind of expel those thoughts in the prep process and in the filming, because it's like, they didn't make the first Gladiator with the intention of it being what it became. They made a film, they worked hard, and it became what it was through the quality of the filmmaking and the acting. That's a harder thing to do when you're aware of the legacy when you're stepping into it.
You ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
Once Paul started the movie, we continued to be amazed. He had never ridden a horse. He started doing daily training. Pretty soon he was arguing with Ridley about doing stunt work. Paul was tenacious. You'll see a few of his stunts in the movie. And his instincts for what's true in the scene are remarkable for a young man. And he became, as a great actor is, the kind of custodian of his character Lucius. And he protected Lucius, and we all learned to trust his gut.
It's for other people to decide what they want in terms of what the film means to them. But I'm incredibly proud of the process and the work that went into this film from a personal side, and also in terms of the finished product.